When it comes to my weight training workouts, this would be my typical split. I lift weights 3 days a week. So if we said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Monday would be a chest back workout. Wednesday would be a lower body workout. 1 week would be squatting and twisting type exercises. The next week would be bend, lunge type exercises, which would be like deadlifting type and lunges together. Then the following week would be another squat twist workout, so I alternate those every week. And then Friday would be a shoulder and arm workout. And I want to talk about this concept again called primal pattern movements, and I've talked about this before. So to define primal pattern movements, this would be movements of the human body that you would need to be proficient at to survive in your environment. And those movements are, you can push, you can pull, you can twist, you can bend, you can squat, and you can lunge. And I first learned about this concept by somebody named Paul Chek. Paul Chek runs the Chek Institute. And he's an expert in holistic health, high performance exercise, diet, stress management. And he really takes a much different approach than the typical trainer you would find at your local gym. And I would encourage all of you to purchase this book that he wrote called How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. And this book really covers it all. It helps you to determine your metabolic needs, to develop an eating plan that's right for you, to build a personalized exercise program that suits your needs. And I would encourage you to purchase it and read it from cover to cover and apply the information. I think it could really change your life. So I have a friend. He's been in a couple of my other videos. He's a former competitive bodybuilder. He was Mr. Michigan in 2003. And like most people I know that were pushing heavy weights and heavy iron in the 80s and 90s, he's got a lot of residual injuries and deficits from that. His knees, his shoulders, his back, especially his back. I introduced him to Paul Chek and Paul Chek's book. And he bought the book and he applies a lot of the concepts. But just by taking the one concept of primal pattern movements, he's been able to rehabilitate himself. And he is shocked at how much better he feels. He's pretty much eliminated his back pain just from doing these primal pattern movements. So today's workout is going to consist of the primal patterns of the squat exercise and the twist exercise. And I want to talk specifically about the squat today. I think the image that most weight trainers have in their mind when they think of squatting is the classic barbell squat. And when I started lifting weights in 7th grade in 1980, it was pretty much ingrained in you that if you didn't barbell squat, you weren't really worthy of calling yourself a weight trainer. I mean, we all bench pressed, but anybody could bench press. You know, only serious weight trainers squatted, so we all squatted. And I remember one of my best friends, he squatted, we were 18 or 19 at the time, he squatted 315 pounds 18 times. And it was like he had set the world record or something. It was amazing. But as I've gotten older and wiser, I really have some different opinions now about the squat. And while I think the squat exercise is an essential exercise, I don't believe that the barbell squat is really essential. I think there are many potential problems with it. The load on your lumbar spine, the way that when you hold the barbell behind your head, the way your anterior capsule of your shoulder can be stretched out, the failure to maintain perfect form when you're in a fatigue state while performing a squat can lead to serious injury. This is only my opinion, of course, but I think there are many other safer ways to perform a squat type movement in your workouts, especially if you're over 50, like me. I'm going to show you a couple of different non-barbell squatting movements today that you might want to try as an alternative to the classic barbell squat. So is everybody ready? Let's go. This is a warm-up exercise I like to do anytime I'm doing a lower body workout. The wall squat with a
Swiss ball. I actually filmed this a couple of months ago for another lower body workout. Had some technical difficulties with the camera and wasn't able to use it, but I did do this same warm-up exercise today. Another exercise I got out of my Paul Chek book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. One of the reasons I like to do belt squats is because I have a permanent injury to one of my lumbar facet joints on the right side. Your facet joints are joints that are on either side of your vertebrae and connect one vertebrae to another, and they bend when your vertebrae bends. Had a permanent injury since my early 20s. And anytime I put a barbell on my back and I get all the way down below parallel, the ligament in that joint stretches out, and immediately all my back muscles go into spasm, and I can't stand up straight for a week. I can box squat, sometimes with the weight on my back, because I'm not going all the way down to parallel. This is one of my work sets here. I've had no issues with my low back whatsoever doing these belt squats. And you're stimulating all the same muscle mass. Glutes and quads. You can push them to their limit. No worries about any facet joint injury here. Another point I want to make here is that I never wear a weight belt, ever. It's really beyond the scope of this video to explain all the reasons why, but just suffice to say that you actually decondition your abdominal muscles when you wear a belt because they're not working and contracting fully because the belt's doing a lot of the work. Also, you can have excessive lumbar disc degeneration from chronically using a belt because you're limiting the motion of certain lumbar discs, and other, maybe two discs, are taking the full load. The leverage squat is one of my favorite exercises. I would consider this a bodybuilding exercise because you're working out on a machine as opposed to working out with cables or free weights or barbells. I know many coaches are opposed to their athletes working out on machines because it fails to work the stabilizer muscles. And I don't think it's a problem as long as you don't do 100% of your workouts on a machine. This is one of my work sets here. Now when I do this exercise, I don't straighten all the way up like that after each rep. I find that it's better for me to get in the squat position, just lock my knees out. If I stand up straight after every rep, I run the risk of, at the top, hyperextending my back too much, and I've had a hyperextension injury from that before, because you're building up so much momentum at the bottom to complete the rep that if you forget to squeeze your glutes together at the top, sometimes you're in the zone and you want to get that rep out. You forget to do that and you kind of leave your back in a vulnerable position. So this works better for me. Just stay in that squat position and lock my knees out after every rep. Again, this does not put my facet joint in a vulnerable position. It's not stretching it out. I feel totally safe in here. I can push my glutes and my quads to their limit if I choose to. This is one of the twisting exercises I like to do. This is a wood chop from a low position. This movement will work your transverse abdominis and external oblique muscles. Keep your head and eyes forward. Don't have your head and eyes follow your arms with each rep. Different angle for the other side. This would be a rectus abdominis exercise. I'm going to do a video just on abdominal training, but just briefly. There are many misconceptions when it comes to training your abdominal muscles. Now, the prevailing wisdom is, and I've heard this forever, that you should do high repetitions for your abs if you want ripped abs, 50 or 100 repetitions per set. This is misguided. First of all, your abdominals are built in the kitchen with your diet. And something else people don't understand is that the difference, they don't understand the difference between tonic muscles and phasic muscles. Tonic muscles are designed for endurance, for maintaining your posture. They are made up of high endurance, slow twitch muscle fibers. For instance, muscles that are in your calves have high percentages of tonic muscle type fiber, so you can walk long distances. In contrast to phasic muscles, now these are for explosive movements, short bouts of hard work, and are made up of fast twitch muscle fibers. Your abdominals are phasic muscles. They respond to very heavy loads. You should not be doing more than 15 reps per set for your abdominals.